Greetings, friends. Happy Tuesday. Happy first quarter moon. The word for today is excavate. And oh my gosh, the message for today is so powerful, so filled with clarity and purpose and resolve and support. And when I say the message, what I'm talking about is what I've been receiving this morning and what I'll do my best to extend to you. And know that this package of the signature is available to you, not just in the words, but in the grids of this particular day on planet Earth. Excavate. Well, we've been living with the energy of earthworm for the past few days, of going deep, of aligning with the shadow activation of this eclipse, even if we don't understand it. And the big purpose in the first week of the cycle is to do whatever we can to come into alignment with the momentum. And we're at an important shift now, and the shift is a form of well, I'll use the word crisis, and it's not a crisis of drama, it's a crisis of action. And the crisis is the realization that there's a point, there's a marker now of making a decision about what it means to step into this new momentum. So the first quarter moon is about action, and it's an action in response to the promptings of this new phase. And because of the intensity of this eclipse, the new phase is really big picture, and it's also super practical because we do live in this physical world. So the signs and synchronicities and circumstances of your life are the treasure box for you to use to discover and explore what your own messages are and what your own potentials are. So the word excavate came from a deep place today of the I was holding space with Earthworm and asking what the actions are for a word for this energy of first quarter moon. And this word came through so clear because now it's time to really commit and to commit to the shadow and what the shadow means. So I had an interesting experience yesterday of, am I going to tell the story? Yes. Of connecting with a good friend with whom I haven't spoken since the day before the eclipse. So there was a opportunity to touch base personally over the phone, and she happened to call when I was for the first time looking at the template that I'm going to use for the new website, which is a big project, and it was the end of the afternoon. I was tired from a busy day. And so she caught me in this moment where I was caught between excitement and eagerness and the fatigue of my old self, my personal self, of saying, how is this going to happen? I'm tired. And so what I found myself in the first part of our conversation bringing forward this bridge that I feel so strongly right now of the juxtaposition of incredible magic, incredible potential, and then the pendulum swinging in the same day or maybe just in the next few minutes to fatigue and a little bit of confusion and even spinning a little bit, like, what is my role here? What's my next step? And then getting caught up in the confusion and feeling a little bit disoriented. And then I go to tired, and then I need to use my tools to get out of that. So anyway, I found myself describing this, and right at the moment where I was explaining how the bad part feels of starting to spin out, the phone went dead. And it turns out that our phone ran out of battery, and we didn't ever get to finish our conversation. And at first, I just felt super disconcerted. Just let me I want to turn the phone off here. I felt super disconcerted because it felt really disorienting to be in this special conversation and not get to finish it. And then I just felt really curious because that is a synchronicity. I'm getting hot right now even talking about it. That's a synchronicity about this time. I'm paying attention to the signs. And it left me feeling really bad, unsettled. Because my commitment now is to release those patterns of overwhelm and negative self-talk so I can maintain momentum. But the more I sat with it, the more I felt the value of accessing that energy and how special it was. And I slept on it, and I woke up feeling so much appreciation and so much help and so much support for that moment of feeling the depth of my commitment to supporting my personal self and my personal patterns to move forward. And so I've been working a lot this morning with Sekhmet, who's one of my favorite helpers, one of the beings. She's a living being, a living consciousness, one of the beings who in my personal life has helped me possibly the most in strengthening, it's making me emotional, and strengthening my muscles to really show up for what's scary, for what feels hard, for my fears of failure. And this is important because this is what we're all being called to right now. So anyway, I've been sitting with Sekhmet today and just feeling so much appreciation for the depths of what is available to each of us. And that's the excavation. The excavation is for the treasure of who we are. And so I have a couple of images of Sekhmet for those of you who aren't familiar with her. This is a super powerful temple at Luxor in Egypt, dedicated to her, and the statue is alive. Those of us who've experienced it know that her energy comes in when you are present and when you welcome her and speaks. The statue has been in the same spot for thousands of years and is a portal or a vortex where you can connect directly with her energy. And this is an image, a contemporary painting that very much shows the personal aspect of who she is as the huntress, as the one who helps us go deep and connect and have the courage. And she goes with us. That's why I got emotional a minute ago. She's really helping me this morning to have the courage to go to those scary places. And so she very much is invoked in this lust card of the ability for each of us to connect with our personal power and to call home all those parts of ourselves that we have abandoned or rejected or forgotten. So excavate this. Know that you have the help to go deep, and know that you have the tools, and that in the moment you will receive the help that you need. I heard something really powerful on the radio yesterday as I was listening to stories of people who are living through the flooding in Texas, and I am very close to a person who's in the middle of that, and I'm feeling very much the intensity and the courage required to show up in these moments of uncertainty. And so someone who was talking about how he was inspired to travel and help quoted a passage that he heard heard a long time ago that's become a beacon in his life. And I'm bringing this forward because one of the messages of this week was the importance of I'm distracted.